Hey, all, Trader Bubba, writer, producer in Hollywood. This might be my only video on modern day Star Trek. I don't want to title it that because as soon as I do, I make myself a liar because all of a sudden I'm going to want to cover something from Strange New Worlds or what have you. There's a lot of, I'm sure you've seen all the videos on Starfleet Academy getting canceled and everyone telling you why. And I just think it's hilarious that there's so many YouTubers out there that apparently know more than the people that actually work in the industry. I myself have a TV show that's currently in the process of selling probably to Paramount. I also work on some other TV shows that are Paramount properties. And I got to tell you, Paramount's not doing anything with anything right now. They just aren't.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
So say we all. Engage.
The show I work on for my day job is in season 13. They were supposed to get a green light on season 14, and they just never got it. It didn't get canceled. It didn't get greenlit. It's just stuck in this limbo. And that is quite frankly because of the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. And that's just messing up everything right now. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, definitely got caught up in that a little bit. But we also knew when they launched the series that it was only going to be getting these 2 seasons. Now, this channel, my videos, are talking about different sci-fi franchises, including Star Trek, from the point of view of a writer, mostly a writer, a little bit of a producer in Hollywood. I haven't seen Starfleet Academy, and I probably won't, to be honest with you. I just have no desire to watch it. I'm not a fan of the timeline or the universe it's set in. It's not made for me. I'm in my mid-40s now. I grew up with Star Trek and The Next Generation and Voyager. That's my Star Trek. But there's a big difference between those Star Treks and modern-day Trek, and that is, quite frankly, network television versus streaming. These Star Trek shows are incredibly expensive, and people, especially people with a YouTube channel, can't seem to wrap their head around why they aren't making the Star Trek Legacy, I think they were calling it, with 7 of 9 as the captain of the new Enterprise. And the answer is so incredibly easy, and it has nothing to do with politics or woke agendas or the audience hating modern Trek. It has to do with 2 things. Number one, these Star Trek shows are incredibly expensive. Yeah, it's $100 million for 10 episodes. $100 million for 10 episodes of Starfleet Academy. Well, Star Trek The Next Generation had a budget of about $1.5 million, and that was for season 1. Let's round that up to probably about 2, maybe 2.5 million by the end of the series. So adjusted for inflation, you're looking at a budget of about $3.75 million per episode for Star Trek The Next Generation. Keep in mind, that was 20 plus episodes a season. So a season of Star Trek The Next Generation would cost about $82.5 million in today's dollars. Episodic television versus serialized storytelling, and I kind of miss the episodic storytelling of The Next Generation, and I kind of miss that. Star Trek is a great universe to tell interesting and unique stories versus 10-hour-long movies, which is kind of what streaming has turned the franchise into. They look great. The special effects are great and everything. But for me personally, modern day Trek is missing the heart of what made Star Trek, which is a sci-fi universe to tell interesting and unique stories that, quite frankly, you really can't tell anywhere else. Look, if you like it, that's great. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but from a writer's perspective, those are 2 very different stories. And I got into Star Trek, I guess, maybe for different reasons than the newer generation. Sometimes the constraint of a tight budget and forces creative writing. And I think that helped more than it hindered on something like Star Trek, be it The Next Generation, Voyager, whatever. Because sometimes you would get really bad episodes, and they're so bad they're good. Now, with something like Starfleet Academy, I know every big YouTuber out there is going to tell you it got too woke. They're pushing this huge agenda. I don't think that's completely true. Alex Kurtzman, love him or hate him, he wanted to pitch a world where everyone, no matter how strange or how different, got to participate. And I don't hate that. However, from a writer's point of view, politics and loud noises aside, the audience, when they're watching a TV show, always connects with one or more of the characters on some level. We all have our favorite Star Trek characters for a million different reasons. Some people love Captain Kirk, some people love Captain Picard, some people hate Captain Picard, but they still love TNG because they really like Data or something. We all have that character that we connect with. The problem with something like Starfleet Academy is when you're using such modern, tweaks or modern tropes on sci-fi characters, you're right off the bat limiting who those characters can connect with audience-wise. Does that make sense? There's nothing wrong with it. There's so much Star Trek out there. Why not make a show for all the different groups of people that are marginalized and maybe never properly represented, including in Star Trek? Why not make a show for them? I don't have a problem with that. So that's not my reason for not necessarily wanting to watch the show. But I'm not in any of those groups. And I've seen all the trailers. It didn't speak to me. God bless it. I don't have to watch it. Doesn't mean Star Trek's dead. Doesn't mean it's ruined. All the Star Trek that I love is still there. I can watch it anytime. I just don't like this modern day stuff. And that's okay. Picard season 1 and 2. Man, it took me forever to get through Picard season 1. I was really disappointed in that one. Season 2 was even worse, I think. I don't know. It just got weird. And I was just kind of like, what are they doing here? Like, you're bringing Picard back and this is what you're doing with it? And then finally, season 3, that thing was amazing. That was great. That really felt like a movie. But here's the deal. Alex Kurtzman didn't do that. That was Terry Matalas, I believe his name is. Great guy. So the reason that Starfleet Academy is no longer with us, there's a lot of reasons. And the one reason that I have yet to hear from any of the few YouTubers that I guess I've seen or watch, I gotta be honest, I don't watch a lot of, I'm so happy this Trek thing failed, I hate this Trek, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. This Trek isn't for you. But I can almost guarantee that none of these YouTubers touched on another basic fact. Paramount Plus is a streaming service, and I'm assuming their financial model is similar to Netflix in that the goal of the show isn't to maintain subscribers, it's to get new ones. And these streaming services are hurting right now, especially Paramount Plus, because people will pay for the subscription, binge whatever show they want to watch, which is probably Yellowstone or one of the spin-offs, then cancel their subscription. It was so bad for Paramount Plus that they did a deal where you could get an entire year of Paramount Plus for only $35, one-time charge of $35. The problem with Star Trek is if they're spending $100 million, they need to bring in, 4-5 times that amount and new subscribers to make it worth their while, or they don't consider it a success. If it's similar to Netflix, and I'm not saying it for sure is, but when people ask why their favorite Netflix shows are getting canceled when apparently they did so well, it's because they may have maintained the subscribers that they had, but they didn't bring in new subscribers. And if your show's not bringing in new subscribers, it's going to get canceled. And I think Paramount Plus is starting to go that route a little bit. So there's a take. I'm sorry this video isn't more sexy. I'm sorry it's not people going, yeah, freaking woke liberals killed Star Trek. But at the end of the day, they don't really give a shit about the fan base. They really don't. They care about the numbers, and they care about the bottom line. And you can't blame them, because it's a business first and it's an art second. So if these shows aren't bringing in enough new subscribers, and if they're not maintaining the subscribers they have on top of that, are they really going to continue spending $100 million a season on any Star Trek? Guys, I'm Trader Bubba. Please like, subscribe. It really helps this channel grow. Thank you so much for listening to my 2 cents on Star Trek Starfleet Academy, a show I didn't even watch. I got another video coming up soon to finish my Star Trek novel series. I did my first few videos on the Star Trek novels that got me into reading and really changed me as a writer, so please check out those videos. If you're interested on what an actual working screenwriter, producer in Hollywood thinks, this is the channel for you, so check out these other videos. I'll see you in the next one.